Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Ariana Ramsey here, USA Rugby Olympian and soon to be Dartmouth alumni. So today's video is going to be about my recruitment process into Dartmouth. This video is going to be useful for anyone who wants to get recruited in general at Dartmouth. I provide some really good tips on how to get into the school, as well as more specifically into rugby. So stay tuned for more and you can learn how you can get into Dartmouth too. Alright, so let's just get right into it. If you see me looking at my phone, I have a few notes here that I wanted to address. Okay, so first, in my last videos, I have talked about how I got into rugby, which is kind of a huge part of this story, but not so much. I'm briefly going to discuss it. So I started rugby in high school, 10th grade year. It was a club team at my school. It wasn't actually in my school. This coach started the team because his daughter was around the same age as me. So he wanted people that she could play with. So he started a whole team. And this kind of played a huge role into how I got into these different schools and different colleges, because he was doing a huge recruitment process for her. And I kind of, considering I was in the same age as her, going into the same year, he was a huge help in that as well. So that, I wanted to start with that because that is also, it's a big part of my process. So I joined the team. He saw how fast I was. He thought I was a really good player. So he invited me to other teams in Utah where I played on Atlantis, and I played against Atavis, and just like played in these club teams where a lot of coaches were scouting. At these events where they're a little bit above the high school level, this is where the coaches come to watch, and this is where they come to scout. So this is a huge breeding ground for you to like get offers and things like that. So if you are interested, you have to be able to get to this level of club. So that's joining Atavis, joining Atlantis, joining Rhino Rugby. Trying to find a way to like get to those Utah big championship games. I mean, big tournaments. That's huge. There's also one in New York as well. So there's a lot of different tournaments that you can go to that coaches will be at. So that's kind of how it went for me. I went there. I went to Utah. I played really well. And like I was walking off the field and I got handed like a pamphlet from Lindenwood. If you know Lindenwood, you know it's like one of the biggest rugby schools. They give full scholarships to girls to go to that school. But I saw that it was in Missouri and I was like, I'm not going to Missouri. You can't pay me to go to Missouri. So I was like, no, thank you, not happening. So I didn't go to Lindenwood. So after that, it was my junior year, around my junior year. And this is around the time where like I needed to start thinking about college. So I would begin to like reach out to coaches. Like I said, my coach had some schools that his daughter was looking at. So I also considered the same schools. But I really wanted to go to Penn State. That was like my dream school. I wanted to go there. I was a diehard Penn State fan. Why? I don't know. I have no idea. I heard it was a really fun school. I had some friends who went there too. So I heard like Penn State was just really fun. And I was just like, yeah, this is going to be the college experience of my life. Like if I go to Penn State, I knew it had so many people, huge alumni network. So I really wanted to go there. You can ask anybody in my high school. I actually talked about it so much. I made Snapchat videos. I was like obsessed with Penn State. I got all the gear. So I ended up visiting Penn State. The school was great. The school was beautiful. It was everything that I thought it would be. But the person I had on the rugby team who was my hostess, she was like not good. Okay. It was like a horrible experience as far as like who was hosting me. But I didn't let that deter me from the school. I ended up not going there due to like financial aid. Dartmouth ended up offering me way more than Dartmouth ended up offering me full compared to Penn State. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go to Dartmouth. It's an Ivy League. I also didn't know about Dartmouth before I came here. Okay, let me rewind. So, like I said, I was reaching out to these different schools. I knew I wanted to go to Penn State, but I wasn't like big on rugby, so I didn't know which schools were like the best at rugby. So I kind of got the information from like him and his recruiting with his daughter. So I ended up reaching out to the schools like West Point, Westchester, Dartmouth, Harvard, Princeton, and I think those were the top 5. So those were like the top 5 places, and I visited all of them, with them, some without. I went to like Princeton with my dad and my family, and then I think I went to the other recruiting, like Penn State, West Point, Westchester, and Dartmouth, all with my coach and his daughter and his family. So, but I did reach out to the coaches beforehand, and they were like interested. They've seen me play before, so I'm like, okay. So I went to go visit these schools. Dartmouth was like absolutely beautiful. The drive up here, amazing. Like the scenery, and then once I got to campus, I was like, this place is so nice. Then I stayed with Smudge. She is one of the graduates, and she was just so sweet, and her room was so nice. And then I met everyone, and everyone was so nice. I was in love with this school. I really was. I was like, this is definitely where I want to be. So they ended up giving me like a full ride also. So like Dartmouth was like a no-brainer. So it was not that simple. I visited the school, so then we had to get into like the technical details as far as like grades and what my GPA and stuff was like. Obviously, she had some sort of idea before I came here, but I had some stuff to work on. Like my GPA was fine, but my SAT scores needed to be a little bit higher for me to like I could get in with the scores that I had, but they needed to be higher in order to like guarantee it. So I had to get tutors for SAT prep, and my senior year, I ended up taking it, got the scores that I wanted, and everything was set. Like I was ready to get in here. So GPA, SAT is also very huge to get into Dartmouth as well. Like it's a big part of it. It really is. You can't just get in off of skill. You need to have the grades too to back it up. And yeah, like they will recruit you for your athletic ability, but you do have to have the academics to match, and that's for any sport. So yeah, so that's how that went. I ended up visiting, loved it, came here, and then yeah, I was on FaceTime in the car with my coach, and she was like, do you want to verbally accept the offer? I was driving somewhere. I don't remember where I was going, but she just like FaceTimed me one day, and she was like, do you want to verbally accept the offer? And I was like, yes, of course. So that was the day that I ended up deciding that I wanted to come here. And that's how it went overall. One thing I will say, so everybody's story is not the same. Like my recruiting visit, like I said, was hugely based off of my coaches, but like reaching out was huge. Like you have to reach out to coaches, find their emails. They're easily accessible. You can find them online. Find their emails, reach out to them, find your friends who go to these schools, ask them for their coaches' emails. Ask them, just ask. And like everybody is different. Like you're not going to be approached by, some people might be approached by these coaches, some people may not. Like if you're at a tournament, go up to a coach if you see them or see him or her. Go reach out to them, be like, hi, I really want to come to your school. Like, can I get your contact information? Are you looking to recruit? How many are you looking to recruit? Like, get curious, ask questions, and reach out. I know this past weekend I went to Maryland. My team played in Maryland, and this one girl, she must have lived in Maryland already, and she knew that we were playing there. So she came to the game, and after the game, she found my coach, and she was like, hi, I really want to come to Dartmouth. Like, can I get your contact information? I was like, wow, that's huge. Like, that's how you know she really wanted to come here. She came out to the game. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she wanted. So it's really a matter of reaching out, showing that you're interested, and there's definitely going to be a spot for you. If your grades match and you're good enough, all that stuff included, you're good to go. It's really exciting. So I hope this video helps. I hope it gives you some insight into what's it like to get into Dartmouth and what that kind of looked like for me. And if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at ariana.gabrielle. And you can also leave comments below and I will answer them there. But subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and go watch the rest of them if you haven't. All right, bye.
Some of us need purpose to overcome, but try to do what you love when it's said and done, cause there's so many differences in each of us. Trust your gut, it can show you what you want. Live it life.